everyone, happy morning to one and all present here. I'm Sandhya on behalf of MTT. I would like to start today's session with a small quote. Collaboration allows us to know more than we are capable of knowing ourselves, by Paul Solares. Now, I would like to introduce mytrustedtutor.com. MTT is a marketplace for private tutors, school teachers, corporate trainers, academicians, educators, all kind of education professionals. Our mission is to make quality education easily and affordably available to all. I am very delighted to welcome our speaker of the day, Sonam Mehta, on the topic collaborative learning in classroom. Our speaker, Sonam Mehta, is an educator with international curriculum for the past 12 years. She is Certified Microsoft Innovative Educator, an accreditation with distinction by British Council. She was invited by my government to meet the Honourable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to share her views on current scenarios of inclusive education in schools in India. Currently, she works as a senior manager in India's leading consultancy group, Oyster Advisory Services, with advisory and guidance to schools in India as well as overseas. She is also a teacher trainer and a mentor to students and as well as teachers. She has trained over 250 plus teachers in her career plans. Now I hand over the session to Sonam Mehta ma'am. Ma'am.
Thank you, Sandhya. So collaborative learning the the topic that I have been requested by the company to inform you more about. Now that the scenario is all online classes and online learning, I have tried and incorporated things which can also be done as collaborative techniques while you are taking online lessons. All right. So you could do that while you are at online lessons, or you could even do the same thing if you are back in school. All right. So I've tried and picked up these strategies which are possible online as well as offline. All right. So that's me, Ms. Sonam. Yes, my maiden name is Mehta, son of Chavan. And a short introduction about myself. I'm a special educator first. Uh, Started my career as a special educator. Have been a teacher. Have taught to kids uh, core subjects, which is psychology. Been a mentor, teacher trainer, and a mother now, as well as a learner, because I think learning never stops. All right. So coming to the topic for today, which is collaborative learning in classrooms, I could think the objectives which we should be taking care of today. One is that we'll be able to discuss the need for teaching and learning, as in collaboration in teaching and learning process, and how do you apply some of these online tools for collaboration during online learning. All right. So before we go into this, I have something that I would want you all to do. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and the website which shows you today. There was a small link which I'm even going to paste it in the chat box, but it will also be shown on the screen while I am going to present it. I would like you to answer that question for me. All right. So I've pasted the link in the chat box, and I'm also going to share my screen, which also has the link. All right. So there's a question which I have asked for, which is, how are you feeling today? And I want you to answer in a word, one word. And you can write multiple answers also. Okay, great. Top of the world. Great. Amazing. Blessed. Relaxed. Excited. Great. Okay, I have 19 people who answered till now. All right, I'm going to log this now. All right, Now, I'm sorry, but nobody is going to be able to work. So just wanted to start the day by understanding your feeling. This is one way you can even check your own students' mood as to how they are feeling for the day. Okay. And the words which you see, which are bold and big, are the words which are multiply, as in used by people more often. Okay. So great, awesome, good are the words which have been used by many people, and that's why they are bold and big. All right. So, all right. Now I have a second question. I'm going to move on to the second question. You still be on that link itself. You don't have to change the link. All right. I just wanted to know the kind of group I have. So if you could scroll down, there's a whole list of things which you see right here. And just let me know what are the areas you are coming in from. So I speak in that direction. Okay. There are other options if you scroll down a little. So the coordinator, vice principal, trustee, others, they're still there, but you'll have to scroll down to have a look at it. Okay. So there's a person who's mentioned, that person is confused. So if you could mention it in the chat, or there's a message box even in the app that we are using right now. If you could message, okay. All right. So I get that. So I have some others also, but mostly most of the people who are here are from the preschool, primary, and the secondary teacher. So let's get back to the presentation. All right. So let's go on to understanding what is collaboration. So by theory, collaborative learning is an educational approach to teaching and learning that involves groups of learners working together to solve a problem, complete a task, or create a product. So collaboration by its word means there is a need for people to work together. Okay. So people who work in small groups, people who communicate. Okay, it's very important. It's if we are all aware about, it is one of the most important skills that the 21st century learner should have. Okay, that's collaboration, communication, critical thinking, problem solving. So collaboration is very, very, very important. All right. So coming back again to that same website, uh, there's a second question which I have posed for you all. What does collaboration mean to you? What does this word mean to you? And have you practiced it? Please write that. Okay, great, Mr. Ratandeep. It's okay. You could write in here for me. That's also great. Okay, maybe yes, Zoom on a browser may be creating a problem for you. No problem. It's blending, great. Blended learning, working together, working like a team. Okay, there's somebody who doesn't have an idea. I'll be very happy to uh, help you to understand what it means. As individuals, even if I do not share my screen, you yourself can have a look at all the answers people have given. If you scroll down, you will be able to see the answers people have given, and you will be able to like their answers if you like. So if you see this particular question has been liked by somebody. And I'm going to come back to the presentation. So I understand that most of you have an understanding of what it means. And how do you implement this in a classroom setup is what I'm going to focus on for sure. All right. So Definitely, it's, as I mentioned, it's a 21st century skill which needs to be ingrained in the kids right when they are at the school level. All right. Okay. So, what's the need for collaboration? What is the need? Okay. It develops higher level thinking, oral communication, self management, and leadership skills. It promotes student faculty interaction. It increases in student retention, self esteem, and responsibility. Exposure to and increase in understanding of diverse perspectives. And lastly, it's a preparation for real life, social, and employment situations. All right. So if you see this diagram on the left hand side, it sums up what collaborative thinking or collaborative learning means. It is working in groups. When you work in groups, you deepen your thoughts. There will be social interaction. There will be expression. There will be a possibility of you gaining new knowledge and therefore understanding problems. Okay, so that's what collaboration does. And the last point is really very important because this is what employers are also looking for, whether the individual is able to collaborate at in the work situations or scenarios. All right. So I have a very short video to show you. You know him very well. This is Mr. Tim Cook. He's the CEO of Apple. And this is what he has to say about collaboration. All right. I'll just share my video.
Okay.
What qualities do you look for in terms of what you think will produce effective collaboration, and what's your role as CEO in fostering that kind of collaboration?
You look for people that are not political, people that are not bureaucrats, people that really don't care who gets credit, people that can privately celebrate the achievement but not care if their name is the one in the lights. You know, that there are greater reasons to do things. You look for wicked smart people. You look for people who appreciate different points of view. You look for people that care enough that they have an idea at 11 at night and they want to call and talk to you about it because they're so excited about it and they want to push the idea further, and that they believe that somebody can help them push the idea another step instead of them doing everything themselves. You know, I've never met anyone, at least in my life, maybe they exist, that could do something so incredible by themselves. You know, in companies with global footprints and in our world, in Apple's world, the reason Apple is special is that we focus on hardware, software, and services, and the magic happens where those three come together. And so it's unlikely that somebody that's focused on one of those in and of themselves can come up with magic. And so you want people collaborating in such a way that you can produce these things that can't be produced otherwise. And you want people to believe in that.
So now coming to the question, who should collaborate? Can I have some quick responses in the chat box? Who should collaborate in a school scenario? Definitely. Okay, teachers, parents, teachers, students, all to stakeholders. And when I speak about who should collaborate in a classroom setup, I have three focus areas. One's the teacher and the student, one's a student and a student, and one's a teacher and a teacher. Okay, so these are my three major areas that I'm going to focus on today, wherein in a classroom setup, a teacher-student can collaborate, a student-student can collaborate, and a teacher-student can collaborate. All right? All right. Now, I'm going to focus my uh, first online tool that I'm going to discuss about is which I used with y'all, which is called the Wulap, sorry. And that's an amazing tool for you to use as a teacher to collaborate and also know at the same time how much is your child using or understanding a particular concept that you are teaching in the classroom. All right. So I'm going to quickly go through this particular product. It's a free product, um, and you could use any of your accounts of Gmail or Microsoft or Yahoo to log in. Sign up. Sign up is as easy as you sign up for any particular emails, and it's easy to use also. Okay, and the most beautiful thing about it is it's so easy for you to incorporate it in your lessons. All right, so I am going to again share my screen. We're going to go to, okay, the website. Okay, so if you type in Google wulap.com, okay, there's a simple sign up here. Okay, and you will get signed in. All right, one tip: kindly choose that you are a primary secondary educator, and that helps you to create a free account with all the features which are open for all the primary and the secondary educator. So kindly create a mark yourself as a primary and a secondary educator. All right. Now, how do you use this in your classroom scenario? All right. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to create an event. All right. I have two events already, which are here. Okay, but I'm going for purpose of demonstration, I'm going to create a new event. All right. So I'm going to click on this. All right. And that's my page where I can start creating what I want my students to collaborate on, all right, with me. I can name this event, okay? So say, I'm going to take specific examples of, I have a chat. So I have a specific examples I will go and take for particular subjects so that you understand how could you use it. So let's say, for example, this is a science class. So I'm going to write it's a science class on plant and animal life, and say maybe grade 3. All right. And all I have to do is click, put a tick click. All right. Now on this right hand side, if you see, there is this particular URL which you are going to share with the kids so that they can start and collaborate with you. Uh, what you could also do is you could go with what it comes by default, or you could even edit the part which is post.com/ and make it customizable. Okay, so maybe I could write as plant. Okay, now this already is being taken, so maybe plant animal life. Okay, and say grade 3, so PAL3, I put it that way. And when I get a tick, which means this is okay for me to use, and I just say a click, And now this is the URL I'm going to give it to my student. Okay, so that's just one of the things they have as a feature. Now, what are the type of questions that you could make? Okay, there is a whole range of questions that you could make if you see here. All right, now there's multiple choice, there's polls, there's find an image. So that means you could ask the kids to research about an image and put it across, have ratings. There's an open-ended question. There is word cloud, find a number. There's matching that the kids can do. There's brainstorming. This is very, very useful for kids to collaborate amongst each other. And then there is, you could even insert a video within this and you could use it. Okay, so I'm going to pick few of these to show you how to use them, and maybe the others can be explored if we have time. All right, so I'm going to use the multiple choice first. Okay, so let's say I have a question which I wanted to ask a student while I am in my presentation, which is say, does animals and plants have the same life processes? Okay, and I may just have a question which says yes and or no, and I just save it. All right, so that's my question, and when I want to have my students to start polling for it, all I have to do is I just click on start, and the kids would have the same question flashed on their screen and they could vote. All right, either yes or no. All right, okay, second would be, let me take the word cloud which I used. All right, so a simple question: name the life processes of the animals. All right, and I save it, and again when I start it, it's going to start, and the moment the kids start putting in their answers, it's all going to come up here. All right. Another very, very interesting is this, the brainstorming thing. All right, where you could ask the kids to give their ideas, and they could it displays in their screen in various ways. All right, so we are going to use this right now, and you are going to use this in your practice also right now. I'm going to create a question which is related to collaboration. So how have you collaborated in your classroom? All right, I'm going to create certain categories with students and with colleagues. All right, I'm going to save this. All right, and this is the URL for it, which I'm going to share with everybody. All right, and you could go on this URL right now. Okay, so even I am as a student trying to see, this is how your screens are going to look. All right, so you have an option which is here. Okay, well, with students, with colleagues, you need to change and write. You put your thoughts here. Okay, and I can have people start writing, and let's see how it looks. As a teacher to you is what I've already shown you, but as a student, how it looks is what I would like to see, or I like to show you. Okay, so can I have people to start writing comments for this? The link is in the chat box.
Participants, please use the
Yes,
link.
yes. It's come. Yeah, it started coming. Breakout rooms with students and colleagues. Yes, great. Think, pair, share. I like it. Any more responses? Okay, involving them in activities they would like to do with friends. Great. Yes, organizing functions. That's great. with colleagues. I've used TPS, Jigsaw, Padlet, Google Docs, Sheets. Great, great. All right. So this is another feature of this particular product wherein you could use brainstorming. Yes, you could always add a video here and the video could be seen and it can be played simultaneously with you playing it from your screen and the kids also watching the same video. All right. So that's there for sure. All right. Now, one very important thing I would want to show you is how you could use this tool for even asynchronous learning. Okay, so asynchronous learning for everyone, I will just say, is when the teacher and the child are not with each other at the same time. They are not in the live session, but there's some work which is given by the teacher to the students to do on their own, and then the teacher gets responses from the students. Okay, so there is a feature in this product where you could incorporate your own presentation within this product and time within various slides you could add your questions. All right, so I'm going to show you, which I've already done before I show you how to do it. Okay, so if you see on my right hand side, okay, there's something called as start and there's a question board here. Okay, so when I click on this start, okay, this is the first slide I had adjusted. Okay, this is some of the things you all had answered. This is where my slides have begun. Okay, if I go through my slides, again, I had inserted this question within the slide. So when I want that question to be reflected to the student, I could see it. Okay. And then there are some more questions which are here. Okay. Which have been incorporated. Okay. I had even incorporated the video. So this basically a video question that I had used the feature and incorporated and that I've just inserted in between the slides and I can play the video right from here. So what we could do is we could have videos which are ready with us in terms of links, and while we want them to learn things on their own, there can be certain videos which could be incorporated, certain questions which could be written and they could answer them. All right, so now let me show you how you could do the same. All right, so coming back to what we had created. All right, if you see on this right hand corner, there's something called as add presentation. When you click on it, you could add various kinds of files. One is PDF, one is PowerPoint, and the keynote basically is for the Apple users. Or you could even pick up things directly from Google Slides. All right. So let's take a presentation. Okay. I'm going to again put in the same presentation which I'm using right now. Okay. It just takes a couple of seconds for the presentation to be uploaded. And on this right hand side, you will know when it's ready for you to start inserting your question. All right. So here my presentation is ready to be used. Now I want the questions which I have created here to be inserted within my slide. So what will I do? On this right hand corner, if you see there's a below this, there's this tab called insert question. So you click on it and your presentation slides will be open. Okay, there's a video which even gives you a complete know-how on how you could do it on your own also. I'm going to skip that for now. All right. Now, I have questions which I want to insert. Okay. Now, my first question is how to participate, which is by default given by them. because that helps the students know what the URL, and in case if they want to scan, they could do the same. Okay, so that I want my first question to be that. All I did was just drag and drop. I'm to delete it. I don't want it here. Okay, I want it here. Fine. I just drag and drop it. All right. Then I want this question, which is, does plants and animals have same life processes? I want to put it somewhere here after my slide number 7. Just drag and drop. Okay. And the question is coming. Okay. Maybe this one I want it here. And this one I want it again last. All right. So these are few questions that I wanted. All right. And I just click on save. The moment you click on save, it will say it's ready for you to use. Okay. When you as a teacher click on start, okay, it's only then when the student would be able to view this presentation. Okay. It will be able to, he or she will be able to view the presentation, and the question which we had inserted has come up. And the moment this question comes up, the student can start full. All right. So the next question I think we had inserted after this, so that's also come up. All right. Okay. Now, I think we have some questions. If I could take.
Yes, ma'am. One participants have raised their questions.
Yes, if
It's
they can ask.
Kinjal.
Yes,
Kinjal.
Kinjal, is it possible to one that has been created by others? I did not get your question. Is it possible to use somebody else's work? Is it at what?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So if someone else has already created a questionnaire or a link, is it possible for us to use it?
So what will happen is you cannot share what is being created here. That's yes the disadvantage of it. So but because it's something which is made by you as a teacher. Okay, so yes, it cannot be shared. Um, that's one.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, one interesting thing about it is in case you have similar questions, as in terms of similar type of these questions which you want, you might just want to create multiple choice. Okay. So once you've created multiple choice, if you come onto the question and you see these 3 dots, there's a duplicate sign. All you do is just click on it. The question will be created. Maybe you just want to change the question. Just change the question and save. So that's a little faster that you could do.
Ma'am, another question is
Yes.
from
Yeah, if you could
Aditi.
just read, yeah.
Yeah, can a Padlet or a Worklet be added to this?
No. It's an individual feature. A Padlet and a Wacklet cannot be added, but it's similar to what a Padlet can do and what a Wacklet can do. But it still does have a feature wherein you could do polling, which is easy for you to do. Um, And yes, the presentation is included within which you would have your questions, which I don't think is in the Padlet and Backlit. Okay, there's one more feature which I have not spoken about. I will speak once I have some more questions. As I will speak about that particular feature. Okay, I'll go on. If you have questions, please put it in your chat box. Um, all right. So this is one of the things. The second is the message section. This is basically, if you had seen on the right hand corner, there were messages which the child can send you in case he or she has a query. All you have to do is just activate the wall. If you do not activate it, then the participant or the student is not going to be able to write anything to you. Okay. Now the third most important thing is the participant space. Okay. Now, there are two things which are possible here. Okay. One is you can create a questionnaire. Okay. Again, The questions remain the same whichever year. You will have the same questions from to pick from. Okay, but it will be a questionnaire that you would create, and then you could add files, which means in case you have, let's say you are an English teacher and you want to give them a reading material. Okay, you could add files, you have your reading material added here. Okay, and that would be available to the student to be downloaded, and then probably have certain questions on it. If you have a questionnaire, it cannot collaborate because that's a personal view that a person is giving, but you could use votes section, okay, wherein you have the questions put up here and the kids are answering and they're seeing each other's answers as well. All right, so that's a possibility. Okay, so I will just show you how to do it. Okay, so if you click on questionnaire and you say create, okay, the same thing has picked up. Okay, I want to probably use a poll because I just want to know how my lesson was. Okay, so I say, how did you like the lesson? Okay, I will say it was great. Okay, um, need more help. Okay, and maybe something like even better if, or called as this in short form. All right, and I save this. Okay, now my questionnaire can again be named, renamed if you want to, and I save this, and I get an option to publish it immediately or publish it later. So I'm going to keep it publish it later. Okay, and if you want to publish it later, uh, after a while where you are ready or you've prepared your lesson and kept it, all you need to do is just click on it, and this is going to be published and it's going to be visible to the student. All right, okay. Similarly, again, the file, you could pick up any file. The file is ready. Okay, you don't want the kids to view it now, you want them to view it later, so keep it off. Once you want them to view it, you put it on. All right, and it will be shared with the kids. Okay, once it's shared, there's a downward arrow key which comes, which I will show you. Okay, so if you see, my teacher has put up the file. I can download it from here. If I even open up the questionnaire, that's also come here. Okay, if I close it, it's going to go away. It's very much in real time that it happens. All right,